That's good. Tastes like apples.
Kids aren't supposed to have those.
Ugh.
It'll make you weird.
On this episode of Dragon Ball Z, two Dumbos in Minecraft talk about the first Dragon Ball Z film, The Dead Zone.
Gohan
gets
dosed.
Wait, what'd you say?
Gohan gets dosed?
Yeah, well, not really. He does it to himself.
Yeah.
The guy says, "Don't eat it."
He takes an edible.
Yeah, he drops some drugs.
Well, anyways, we should probably say who we are and what we're doing.
I think I already said what we're doing, but
Yeah.
what's going on? We're 2/4, 1/2 of Crosscut Cinema.
Yeah.
We're doing a bonus pod of something that I really enjoy. Guys, bear with us. We've had the podcast that was supposed to go up for this week has been rescheduled we've had to do 4 different ideas.
Yeah.
Just because of people's scheduling conflicts. And then one thing I wanted to do, I found out I wasn't allowed to do. And I won't get into that. But overall, like a lot of things we had prepared, and we had been well prepared that we were going to record on the day before and upload. Everything fell through. So me and Franny were like, well, what can we do? Because something still has to go up for the people we love. And we realized that I'd been watching DBZ, the show, with Franny, like on my rewatch. He like joined in during like a later season. And we thought, well, we could just review the Dragon Ball Z movies because these movies are insane.
Oh, yeah.
And I have tons to say about them. And if you guys want to hear my thoughts on like the Saiyan Saga and generally like what I know about Dragon Ball Z and in the Dragon Ball series in general, and like, I guess you could say like my doctorate in
Your
Dragon
vast
Ball,
knowledge.
my vast knowledge. If you need that proved, you can check out a video I linked in the description of my other podcast, but it's just me and I review the Saiyan Saga and go over it in some comical detail, but just basically explain what happens in the first season of Dragon Ball Z. Now we're reviewing the movie today, The Dead Zone, and for people who don't know, the Dragon Ball Z movies are entirely non-canon. And they tend to be a big deal. A lot of them having theatrical releases in Japan when they come out. Like, obviously, Dragon Ball Z over there, or just Dragon Ball as it's known, is pretty large and very, very popular. Okay, anyway. The Wikipedia.
The Wikipedia.
You got it?
Yeah, I have a crusty phone, so bear with me, but I have it. My phone is falling apart. I need a new one. Dragon Ball Z Dead Zone, originally released theatrically in Japan, was simply Dragon Ball Z, and later as Dragon Ball Z Return My Gohan.
What?
It was called Dragon Ball Z Return My Gohan.
Yes.
That's adorable. For its Japanese VHS and Laserdisc release, is a 1989 Japanese anime fantasy martial arts film, the 4th installment in the Dragon Ball film series.
Yes.
And the first under the Dragon Ball Z moniker.
Yeah.
It was originally released in Japan on July 15th at the something film festival, along with 1989 film version of...
Wait, what is it called? Try it. I want to hear your attempt. What is it going to sound like?
Himitsu no Ako-chan? The first Akuma-kan movie, and the film version of... What the fuck?
Don't worry about it. Let's just move. It released with another popular movie. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Franny, what did you think of The Dead Zone or Return My Gohan?
Oh my God, it was a... I like to think of it as Return My Gohan.
Return My Gohan. Bring it.
As it
bring
was
that shit
originally
back.
supposed to be called. Thank you. This was great. I've recently gotten into Dragon Ball Z. I'm actually wearing Dragon Ball Z sweatpants that are Logan's that I stole.
Yes.
Yeah, it was... The animation style was so fucking cool. You can tell there's a difference for like the theatrical version.
They get like a little bit more money.
Yeah.
They get to do it up a little differently because one of the things you'll get from the animation, as good as it is like if you look at some of those panels in HD as I have them in 4K.
And they don't get to like slow down and like make scenes like really cool.
Yeah, like
know?
they don't get to do a lot of artistic integrity choices.
They get a lot done in those like 20-minute episodes. But to be able to slow down a fight like this and like animate the fuck out of it was so cool.
And everything was like, it had its own aesthetic. It had its own like the great thing about the films, and I think Franny will see this because I think we're going to review more of these, but Franny will see this across the movies, is that each one is also artistically a little different and has its own identity.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a world of difference. If you guys are into Dragon Ball Z movies, you know that there's a world of difference between like the Dead Zone and Wrath of the Dragon. Like they're vastly different creations and artistically completely opposite of each other. Like this really gets to, this one I like because Dragon Ball at its core is an action adventure comedy.
Yeah.
You know, especially early Dragon Ball, it kind of got more serious as you know, the audience matured, and Akira Toriyama, for him it was only a week, but for us it was a long time. He do you know that he only like stopped for a week between Goku being like 17 and Goku having a child? It was like a week break in the manga, which is pretty crazy.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, that time jump for him was like instant, but he just knew that once he wanted Goku to be older so he could mature the story.
Yeah, and even to get as detailed into like Gohan's story, if he would have started at the really young age of Goku and continued on, we wouldn't have gotten any of that. Yeah,
I mean, if he would have just like, people always talk about how meticulous he is with time, but they hate sometimes his time jumps. I think he is a writer who completely gets time jumps and understands like the first goal of your time jump is it needs to be for a significant reason. And you need to be able to like have shown how these characters have changed without directly being like, now Krillin works at the Gap. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's so many
don't
shows.
Cheapen it. Let it speak for itself.
Yeah, like reflect how these characters have changed.
And by telling the fucking story.
By telling the story and
without
seeing
regurgitating
them, like obviously in this movie, it's so early on that the character of Piccolo is still kind of seen as like an anti-hero or like a villain you want to root for, versus obviously, I mean, spoilers for Dragon Ball Z, guys. If you guys are listening to this and you care at all, you know the story anyway. Anybody who cares about my Dragon Ball Z review has seen everything already. Because it's just been out there for so long. Maybe not Super. Maybe you're like me and you're dragging on Super a little bit because you review films for a job and you have to watch a lot of stuff. But you'll know that like the character of Piccolo just so drastically changes, because the Piccolo that the modern audience knows would find the one in Dead Zone kind of strange. Do you agree?
Yeah, well, especially being the more modern audience myself, I didn't know about Dragon Ball Z until we started dating, and I didn't watch it with you until very recent years.
Yeah. And when we did watch it, guys, full disclosure, Franny's only now discovering how magical it is.
Yeah.
Because I had shown her stuff in the past, and she's just been like, I'm okay.
Well, I used to not partake as much.
Yeah, exactly. Fun fact, guys, Dragon Ball Z is an even better watch in Minecraft. And
Definitely.
that's a definitive fact.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I'm saying. But, yeah, and like it might be startling for you how Piccolo acted that way.
Oh, yeah. And like, especially as sporadically as I've seen Dragon Ball Z too, we've done a lot of our own time jumps because I've only like watched certain
because
sagas
you jump
and
as
shit.
I was watching it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll like jump in and then we'll just like start wherever you are. It's always hard to track where I am with, it's supposed to be with Piccolo. But I do like that the movies are an attainable thing for like a newer audience to see,
and that's
because
what I was
they're
getting
not
to.
canon.
The non-canonness of it does two things for the film. For one, if there is something you need to know relevant to the active canon, the characters will outright tell you.
Definitely.
Like,
I was given all the knowledge I would need to understand this film.
Mm-hmm.
If I had the very basic knowledge of like what these characters are and the dialogue they do give you and the storytelling they deliver, you're fine.
Yeah, you can totally... That's the best thing about the movies is you can watch the first movie to the last movie and not watch one fucking episode of Z, and you'll understand all those storylines and you'll appreciate them. Like, I think that even if you don't like Dragon Ball Z, you can appreciate... Like, I feel like the movie fans are slightly different than the anime fans. I'm a fan of all of it. But there's people who like the anime who hate the movies because they're non-canon. Pretty much solely for that.
I was gonna ask if people like are pissy about it not being canon.
And then there's people who only like the movies. And that's like a real subset of people because they say like the anime is so drawn out.
Yeah.
There's so much filler. Like one of the most popular episodes of Dragon Ball Z is the driving episode. And the whole episode is just Goku and Piccolo in 80s clothing trying to get their driver's license. That's the episode.
I love that.
It's a great episode and it's super funny. But for people who care more about the overarching story and elements of Dragon Ball Z, like, the villains and the hero arc of Gohan and everything, people find the show to be kind of tedious, whereas like the movies, it's a beginning and end. You get a full result out of it.
Are there like guides out there for like the episodes you need to watch to understand the storyline?
Yes, and then also the show Dragon Ball Z is so huge that later they came out with a thing called Dragon Ball Z Kai. And Dragon Ball Z Kai is the show reanimated with better animation.
Wow.
And it skips all the filler.
Whoa, holy shit.
Mm-hmm. And fun little thing about that, the only reason I don't like Dragon Ball Z Kai, I do like Dragon Ball Z Kai. I'm sorry, we're going off here, but I think this is a relevant conversation for fans, and you're the only ones who are going to care about
people,
this.
Because I feel like anime is getting such a push lately. I feel like there's a lot of newer fans of like this kind of stuff. Like it's getting a resurgence.
So with Dragon Ball Z Kai, my biggest issue is that the person who originally made the music for Kai, the thing about Dragon Ball Z is it's more than the action. People don't really believe that, but it's true.
Oh, it is. It is.
There's artistic choices.
There's drama too.
And there's like literal visual choices. And then on top of that, and this is my big thing, is that the music is really important. Because this show never has quiet moments. Like, because it's such a pace, like keeping with the pace and like quick action, to it, like things are happening constantly. A musical lull moment is like they play like melancholy music as like, one of the characters is doing something innocent. But there really aren't many silent moments in the show. The show is very like very much has a soundtrack. And the Dragon Ball Z Kai soundtrack was really great, but then it turned out that the guy who did the track stole all the music.
Really?
All of it was stolen from other projects, Terminator, some other orchestral things. So then the music was pulled, and now Dragon Ball Z Kai only has music that really doesn't match it. And it ruins the show, like in my opinion. I know that people like Kai because you can get the animation's a little better and you can get through the whole thing. I feel like, but for me,
it's a very certain audience that cares about like the full aesthetic of like the music and stuff. I definitely didn't care enough to like notice that kind of stuff before we started really watching movies together.
Yeah,
and I started actually paying attention.
Yeah.
So I could see why I feel like that would piss me off now. But
before you wouldn't have minded.
Before I wouldn't have cared.
And also like it came out like 10 years after, so kids were watching it, and like I was a kid who was watching it on Toonami and Cartoon Network and shit. And then the generation pretty much after me, the ones that are like 14 to 16 now, those kids watched it on Nickelodeon as Dragon Ball Z Kai.
This was on Nickelodeon?
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z Kai was on Nickelodeon.
Oh, wow.
Also, it was slightly less violent. Was another thing.
That's stupid.
No. I mean, like, by slightly, I mean, you know how, like, some characters would be dripping blood and shit?
Oh, yeah, just clean it up a little bit.
They cleaned up the blood, when Goku had a giant fucking hole in his stomach. Instead of it being red, they drew it in as black. Stuff like that. Like, little things. And I think that was good, too. I think that version was a lot more digestible. They only recast the 2 voice actors, so it was pretty much the same. And I know that the people who did the show, like the voice actors like Sean Schemmel, I know people have a big opinion about him, and Kyle Herbert and stuff, were like, I like Dragon Ball Z Kai more because they let us add on performances, and also it was a giant chance to redo performances that we didn't like, Oh, wow. This is an entire retake. It was like, because things were so cheap at Funimation when they were porting these movies and these shows. Like, I promise you, this Dead Zone movie we just watched, this masterpiece, they probably had 2 months to voice it.
That's insane.
Isn't that insane? Because how beautiful it looks, and that the people who animated it took a long time.
And okay, am I stupid? But this was like hand-drawn animation, right? Like,
yes.
Crazy.
Very light computer, like, animation. Very, very little.
Wow.
I mean, it was made in 1989.
Yeah, that's just crazy. It's so beautiful to look at. Mm-hmm. It looks like a painting half the time.
And I think that Dragon Ball Z Kai, I think that version of the show is good for the people who really liked the visual of Dragon Ball Z. But like I said, I think with it lacking the music, or if they could just pay off the people that the music was for, and then put out the stolen music, but like pay the artists,
or put better music on it.
Yeah, exactly. All they did was use the old show's music.
That's
and
weird.
It just didn't match right, in my opinion. I have 2 seasons of it, so I could show you at some point. But
it feels like it's kind of soulless.
Yeah, I think that with the music being tacked on that way, it took all the heart out of it. Mm-hmm. But it did have heart originally. I really liked Kai at first. I was getting the Kai Blu-rays really early before they had to start editing them, so I have 2 that have the old music on it.
Oh, that's really cool.
But it's still like, it sucks that I don't have the whole thing, and as a result, with it being the old music and it not matching, I like the older show better. Plus, the older show, like, if you have issues with those fillers, dude, just lame. Like, you just don't enjoy the characters then, because the filler episodes of Dragon Ball Z are amazing. There's an episode where they play fucking baseball. It's awesome.
I mean, filler lets you live in the world.
Yeah, it's like side quests. It's Avengers: Age of Ultron. Anyway, not the point. Let's get back.
This feels like filler, though. The movies kind of feel like filler because it's like a side quest.
Yeah, exactly. And there are certain things that like will happen in the movies, and then it'll be reflected in the anime. But Akira Toriyama just says, well, if any of those things don't match, it's just the fact that it didn't go down the way that you think it did. Like, the movies are not accurate. But some of the things that happen in the movies could have happened in their past.
Yeah, like I feel like the fact that Gohan did save the world at such a young age, like, definitely is reflected in the show.
Mm-hmm. Or like for instance, there's a point. We're gonna talk about Garlic Jr. for a second.
Yeah, we need to get back to the plot of this movie.
Yeah, and also this plays into it. So Garlic Jr. is another polarizing character not because of this movie though. People love him in this movie. The issue with Garlic Jr. is that there's an arc in the show that brings Garlic Jr. back.
Oh, really?
And Garlic Jr. basically turns half the world into like zombies that work for him. And the people who fight him off are Gohan, Krillin, and Piccolo. And people really don't like that arc. I think it's a good arc. I think it's funny. I don't think it's like too serious, But people hate that episode set a lot. And as a result, hate Garlic Jr. and want to reject the movie now and a reaction to that. I think you'd actually like it. Did our dogs just bark at each other?
Yeah.
Stop.
Dwight, respect her space. Come here.
Yeah, dude, don't be such a fucking weirdo, dude.
Yeah, quit manspreading.
Our dogs are ridiculous. Anyway, but let's get back to the movie. Sorry we talked so much about other stuff, but I love Dragon Ball Z, and plus it's a 45-minute movie, so
we gotta give you some juice.
How much can we actually review it? All right, cool. So basically the movie is about little Gohan. He wears that little outfit that his dad got him.
I didn't even put together that was a Dragon Ball on his head. Like, it wasn't just a decoration.
No, it's a Dragon Ball on his head.
That seems a little reckless.
But you have to understand, though. Goku, very few people even know the Dragon Balls exist, right? Like, it's like not a known thing. Unless like you actually summoned the dragon before. Maybe you've heard like, stories or something, but they're spread across the earth at opposite ends of the earth every single time they're wished on. So they shoot all over the planet, and in order to make a wish, you have to find them all. It's like a giant geocaching scavenger hunt. And they even have like a geocaching little device that tells them where the balls are. But most people don't even know they exist. And the 4-star Dragon Ball was Goku's foster grandfather, Grandpa Gohan, was like his prized possession, because nobody had found the Dragon Balls in like Grandpa Gohan's whole lifetime. He held on to the 4-star ball his whole life. And so as a result, the 4-star ball is like a sacred relic to Goku, because it's basically the last like remnant of his Grandpa Gohan. And that's why
and he named his kid after
Gohan.
him.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so the 4-star ball as a result is kind of an emblem of the whole show, but specifically Goku. There's a lot of people who think like, like the show's going to have some sort of ending where it's like, for a long time they thought this anyway. It didn't go down this way. People thought in some way he was going to become the 4-star Dragon Ball,
Wow.
But like that's not exactly what happened. But it's such a repeating thing of like the 4-star Dragon Ball's Goku's like thing. It's like his Dragon Ball. It's always the one he finds first, and even if he doesn't collect the rest, he always goes and finds the fourth one.
Wow, that's like it's like a soul tie.
Mm-hmm. It's like his special thing, because until he met Bulma in the anime, he lived in the woods with his grandfather and just his grandfather.
Yeah.
Lived out in the wilderness. It's like it's his religion. So that's why it makes sense that he would have the ball, and not only that, but honor his son by having him like pretty much dressed in his grandfather's garbs, like in the kind of clothes he wore, and then holding the 4-star ball. Doesn't mean it's not a little reckless, but Goku's not exactly the smartest guy on the planet.
Yeah. Aren't they? Didn't they have this child very young? They're very young, right? They're like 20.
Hold on. Let me find out when Goku had Gohan, how old he was.
I love thinking about that. Like just how reckless these little...
Or how about the fact that Goku lost a fight to Chi-Chi and that's why they're married?
I love that. That's hot.
I know. I so think they're couple goals.
Yeah, definitely. But that's just crazy. Like, and like they live in the woods and shit. That's something you recently put together for me in the show. Like I didn't think about them as like where they exist. But like, yeah, they're just like fucking living in the woods.
Yeah, Chi-Chi sees literally only Goku's friends when they come by and her family.
That's insane.
Because
her world is so small.
Yeah, or
but
her,
also so big.
She lives near her her father King Yama though. That's also something. Yeah, he was 23 years old when he had him.
A baby.
Yeah, 23-year-old had a little baby.
Oh my god, and the baby's just fucking around.
Yep.
Saving the world and shit.
Wait, hold on. Wait a second. I might actually have that wrong. Give me a second. Dragon Ball Z kicks off with the Saiyan Saga, which starts off with a 23-year-old Goku raising his son. His son was 4. He was 19.
Oh, wow.
What's that noise?
I burped.
Anyway, yeah, so he had that kid when he was 19.
Oh, God. I was about to say, I thought they were a lot younger than 23. 23 is not that young.
And I think Chi-Chi was younger than Goku, so I think she was like 17
Goku
or something.
and his child bride.
Yeah, Goku's a fucking chomo all of a sudden. Oh, my God. Or she might actually, you know what? She might have been older. I know that they're not the same age, though.
Like they just have this baby dressed in his grandfather's outfit.
Well, it's like
running around with the magic ball on his head.
Yeah, it's kind of like his outfit,
Yeah,
but like not exactly.
I mean, the whole thing just seems a little ridiculous, but I love it.
It's kind of cute though, right? Like just
Yeah.
like the idea of a simple life, and whenever they're not defending the Earth, they just live in peace. I think in Super, I think Goku becomes a fucking farmer.
Wow.
Because so much time passes in between a major like cataclysmic event, so he like becomes a farmer.
I love that.
Yeah, like I
like that for him.
It's really not like, of course he's like still obsessed with training and is a terrible farmer, but at least it's like, nobody's like Goku's probably gonna die next week when he fights fucking blah blah blah. They're just like Goku's gonna go chop some carrots and then go train for like 6 days. But
doesn't sound too bad.
It's a simple life, and
Yeah.
I think that those characters are endearing for that reason. Like if you really think about it, Dragon Ball Z is a story about how a bunch of like low income fucking poor ass fucking hillbilly white people save the earth every once in a while and don't ask for any thank yous. Like the ultimate Southern hospitality. I realize they're not actually white, but like they give off white people vibes.
Yeah.
Living out in the fucking woods and shit.
Definitely white people bullshit.
She's like cooking and like she has like a fucking gajillion matching dishes that he eats. He fucking dirties up every night because of how much food he eats.
Yeah.
That's some country shit.
But this show highlights how Chi-Chi's a bad bitch, or this movie highlighted how Chi-Chi's a bad bitch.
Yeah, she
Or
was
at least
like,
tried
Gohan,
to.
go inside. I'm about to fuck
Yeah.
this motherfucker up.
So what happens is Goku's out taking a fucking bath
And fishing.
and fishing, and
You see his ass in this movie.
the fucking Spice Boys come and
Oh, yeah. There's these characters. I don't know if this is like... I know that some of this happens, but I know that some like dubbing is like really bad, like when they translate. But I also know that Akira Toriyama loves naming shit after vegetables, so I don't know if the guy's real name was Ginger Snaps, but if it is, that's awesome.
it was like ginger, and then like the fucking Mr. Garlic or
Garlic Jr., baby.
Ridiculous.
You don't like Garlic Jr.?
I love it. But Garlic Jr. and his Spice Boys, they came and kidnapped Gohan.
There's a lot of criticism of Garlic Jr. too, I have to mention.
Yeah.
That people would want me to mention. There's a character named Emperor Pilaf in the anime. I think it's very similar to Garlic Jr.
Pilaf rice?
Yeah. Emperor Pilaf, yes. You know what I mean? Like the show is a comedy.
And I fucking love the names Bibbidi Boppity and Boo.
Yeah, Bibbidi Boppity Boo. Guys, she doesn't know what's going to happen with that. She doesn't realize that
I'm very early on, but I like the names.
She hasn't even.
Yeah, don't spoil it for me.
She's going to love this.
No spoilers in the comments.
Yeah, she's watching this shit
can't
fresh.
Look.
Anyway, so this Emperor Pilaf guy, I'm just going to show you a picture of him, and you tell me if he's literally not just a carbon copy of this character. But people get a little upset about that, too. Anyway, so Gohan's getting kidnapped because he's got a fucking
Dragon Ball on his head
and shit. And, of course, Goku finds out about it and goes to his friend's house.
But Chi-Chi does try to fucking fuck him up.
Yeah, no, the movie starts with when I first saw this when I was a kid, this is what I really thought. King Yemma starts to fall to the ground and grabs his heart. Well, I had seen someone have a heart attack.
Oh my God. I thought it was going to be a heart attack.
I had seen someone have a heart attack that week.
Oh my God. Really?
So I was so genuinely concerned he was having a heart attack.
That's so scary.
John, if you're out there, you know this story. You know that we literally saw a dude have a heart attack and then watched this movie and then we thought he was having a heart attack.
Oh.
Anyway, do you think this looks like Garlic Jr.?
That does look like Garlic Jr.
Little Emperor Pilaf, he's holding a little Dragon Ball.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it is similar. But yeah, so it starts with what you think is a heart attack, but then it turns out it's the Spice Boys, and they've knocked him out. They fuck up Chi-Chi with some jiu-jitsu and shit. Yeah. And then they take Gohan.
And Gohan, his bitch ass, I swear to God, he's such a little punk.
Listen, I think he's
such a little wimpo.
I think he's 4 years old.
You know what?
I think he's 4 years old right now, maybe 5 years old.
His brother, what's his name?
Goten,
was a badass bitch by the time he was 4. All right.
For the record, he was 7 in the anime, so
he was 7. Okay, he had 3 years on this guy.
But Gohan's arms are better at 4 than Goten's at 7.
Yeah.
Goten's kind of looks like a bitch, to be real. But he is 7, so there's that. But
let's just body shame these children.
These
animated children.
Animated children, all voice act by adult women.
Really?
Always. If you hear a boy in a TV show, I guess
that makes sense.
I mean, Bart Simpson was voiced by a lady.
Wow.
You know, I guess like the only one I can think of that's like a little boy is like Stewie Griffin is voiced by Seth MacFarlane, but that's kind of a niche.
But that's a
thing.
Weird kid voice.
And Garlic Jr. has Stewie Griffin energy.
Yeah.
100%. Because Garlic Jr.'s whole thing is his father was taken out. You know, I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? We had to talk about the whole finding them thing. So Goku goes to his friend's house, has the dragon radar. Krillin's like, oh my God, my fucking buddy's going to die. Oh my God, Gohan is kidnapped. And like right after Goku leaves, you see Krillin jump out of the house and be like, goodbye, and like kind of be worried that his friend was going to be dead, which plays into something later.
Yeah.
So Goku shows up. There's the Spice Boys. They're hanging out. And the whole time while he's looking for Gohan was introduced to Garlic Jr. And he's like, that kid seems like he's fly as fuck. I'm going to make him one of my boys. So they're trying to like train him and contract him to, you know, be a mercenary for Garlic Jr., which is insane because he's 4. But then he accidentally eats an apple from one of their weird trees and starts tripping balls.
Yeah, that was amazing. I was not expecting that at all.
Wasn't it awesome?
That was awesome.
The blue dinosaurs and him like marching like he's in like the fucking weird ass Japanese army
How
of some
did
sort.
American audiences react to that?
You know, I actually don't know. I bet it wouldn't surprise me if that was cut from the version on TV because maybe it's just the fact that I've aged and, you know, I watched a lot of this stuff when I was really young. But just recently I rewatched it, maybe a couple of months ago, and I thought, oh my God, he gets high in this movie. And I never remembered that or realized that. that could just be because I was innocent at the time, but it could
Yeah.
also be because maybe I have, since I have the DVD, maybe I have the full version or something.
Yeah, because that wouldn't surprise me if they cut that for American audiences.
It's only like a minute or 2 minute scene.
Yeah, and
Although
I mean,
it explains so much because later he's
He's
giving
literally
Krillin a golden
tripping.
shower too.
yeah. Ooh, that's a good point. And he's literally tripping. Like a lot of the best animation in this movie happens while the kid is tripping balls.
Yep, and this hiccuping.
Yeah, and he sees like little. He sees you said a dinosaur.
Yeah, blue dinosaurs.
Blue dinosaur, and he sees like a bunch of like little people that like
fuzzy people and stuff. And
they look like little puppets.
And he's fucked up.
It's adorable.
It's probably the most wholesome dosing scene in in cinema, because this is one where I'm like, I understand that he's a child, but one, he's not scared, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
He's vibing. He's riding it.
Yeah.
But
Then he
also,
just like he promptly falls asleep too.
but the other thing is he's not actually human, so that's something to consider. He is like a super powerful being, so you know what I mean. Like I have full confidence that if someone would try to take advantage of Gohan, he would turn into a giant ape and stomp them to death.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, my bad. Okay, so that all happens. You see really early in the movie, like before even like the DBZ like music plays, that something happened to Piccolo because you just see him like screaming, and you think that he got by these ginger boys, but no, he comes back full diva mode, full like fit on. Piccolo kind of dresses like a diva a little bit, don't you think?
Oh yeah. Well, Piccolo and Goku have such sexual tension in this movie.
They
You can cut it
literally
with a
can't. They
fucking
can't keep
knife.
their hands off each other.
They
right
can't
after
keep their clothes on together.
Right after they supposedly kill Garlic Jr. Even though in the movie, you guys should know, Garlic Jr. Wishes to be immortal, so he can't be killed. But they think because they're dumb that they killed him, so they're like, "Let's fight," and they start slapping each other.
Yeah, like,
and it's
what
like
a weird way to
like get your
redirect that
hands off
energy.
each other, please, dear
Yeah,
God.
they just like need to be in physical contact still. They're already not wearing all their clothes, like they're ready. It's just I love it. I love that it's such a blatant part of the movie.
I just love like after that arc is done. Like after it's so early into the anime where Piccolo and Goku are bros. Like so it's crazy that there's like 2 or 3 movies where they're like, it's almost like Akira Toriyama wanted to be like, aren't they like kind of sexy with each other when they're mad?
It's a will they won't they?
Yeah. Like it is odd that like in the anime they I mean that's the beginning arc. They join together and they fight Raditz together and they're boys, It's fucked up that there's so many movies. Like I think there's like 2 or 3 where like they have that tension there, and it's like that was like 5 seconds of the anime. What the fuck? Why does he want to write this so
He's
bad?
milking the best parts.
Yeah, he's just like, the biggest mistake I ever made was having them not fuck.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake I ever made in the anime.
That's the next movie that comes out. It's just the fucking
Battle of the Dongs.
Battle of the Doll.
Instead of Battle of the Gods. Yeah, no. Instead of Resurrection F, it's Erection A.
Oh God.
But anyway, yeah, no. So the movie, the whole time he's talking about Kami comes and he's like, bruh, like your dad was an asshole too, and Garlic Jr.'s like, fuck you, and then you hear the backstory of like, Garlic Sr. was almost the guardian of the earth, but they landed on Kami because Garlic Sr., you could tell he was an asshole.
Yeah.
He wanted the power too bad. Any day someone could have called HR on him, but Garlic Sr. was not a cool guy. So what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So yeah. So Kami's fighting with Garlic Jr. He finds out he's immortal, and like Kami's so desperate to kill him, he's like, I'm gonna blow myself up, and Garlic Jr. has to remind him, you will die and I won't. And it's like, holy shit, Kami, pull it together and think shit through. Even Garlic Jr. is like, don't do that. That's a waste. Why are you gonna kill yourself? It's not gonna help you at all.
I know, and yet they're so convinced that they killed him when they fucking did that.
It is odd, right? It is odd.
It's because they were so distracted by each other.
That's what I think. I think Kami was like, Kami's this level, which I love that his name is Kami. Like, it's so funny to say
That is
Kami a
funny.
whole bunch. But because he's like all about peace and like protecting everybody, and it's a Japanese show. But anyway, he's all like so desperate to end this that like the moment he thinks it's over, like great, I can go back to bed. Like I feel like he's tired, and like Goku and Piccolo are just like, oh my god, he's right there.
Yeah.
I want to touch his big pink
They're
fleshy
like,
arms.
Oh, we need to stay out a little longer. It's time for us to fight.
Yeah, like meanwhile Chi-Chi's like, where's my son? Oh no.
Yeah.
And Goku's like, hold on, we're sparring.
I don't know where our son went.
Yeah. He's under some rocks right now, which Franny did not notice at first.
I don't know how I missed it.
So there's a
I
moment
think
where
our dog was being an asshole.
there's a moment where Garlic Jr.'s like, fuck you guys, I'm gonna send you to the fucking dead zone, the ghost dimension and shit. And then I'm gonna rule the earth. And Gohan was under some rocks. So originally I told Franny, Gohan's under some rocks. She's like, oh no. And then like it gets to that part, she goes, oh my god, thank god Gohan was under some rocks, because he didn't like fly into the fucking thing at first. But then he gets out and he like Stone Cold Steve Austin's like fucking that dude's ass. Like he knocks Garlic Jr. into his own dead zone. And then the irony is like, yeah, he's immortal, but he's immortal in like a ghost dimension forever.
Hilarious.
And awesome.
And they made like the like dimension like crack into pieces and go underwater, and you see him like stuck in a piece of the dimension.
And the whole time Krillin showed up to help, and all that he really did was drop a child and drink piss. So why did you come at all, buddy?
I mean, I feel like that's exactly what he wanted to do.
I don't think so. He's a good guy.
We're talking about Gohan and that character and how like crazy it is that he's like such a prodigy.
In two different ways. I mean, he's incredibly smart, but also he's this half-breed of Saiyan and human. And because of that, like the way Saiyans work is when they lose a battle, they like get stronger as long as they don't die.
Yeah.
But I guess for some reason, the humanity in Gohan makes it to where he gets stronger every time he fights, no matter what.
Oh, wow.
So, like, he has endless potential is the argument. He never has to actually lose in order to become better. It's, like, not like a secular thing for him. And instead of becoming what should be the most powerful being to ever, like, walk the face of the universe, he decides he's going to be a librarian. That's real.
That feels like a fuck you to the universe.
That's like, dude, if you think that Gohan's some lame puss, you're wrong. Because he did the most punk rock move of all time.
He said epic destiny who?
I'm gonna read Catcher in the Rye every day. Knowing that I'm the phony. Yeah. It's wild.
It's because he's a mama's boy. Mama raised him right.
Yeah, Chi-Chi was like, you're gonna fucking be a little loser your whole life.
Yeah,
That's my plan.
You're not gonna fuck around. You're not gonna be like your dad and always be gone and then die promptly.
But the fun fact is, in this movie, this moment was the first time Gohan ever fought, because Raditz hasn't happened yet.
Oh wow.
So because obviously it's non-canon, so like the whole Raditz Goku Piccolo arc hasn't happened. So Gohan's never done any sort of physical fighting action movements at all. He's literally pussy. Like he's nothing.
Yeah, he's 4. He's just a 4-year-old.
He's a fucking tiny little 4-year-old who could fucking just get hit on the wrong side of the head and just die.
Who recently got high.
Yeah, who got high for the first time and is jonesing.
Yeah.
And that's why he's so mad and he's got a headache.
Oh my god, but it's so funny. So like after he saves everybody's ass, he like goes up to his dad and like thinks his dad saved everybody.
And then like Goku has like this, which it's really funny. Everybody has like this moment where they're taken back by that. But then also Goku has this moment where he's thinking, do I tell Chi-Chi, do I not? I'm going to not tell her for now. And I'm not going to have him not fight. And that's one of the only times, I think pretty much in all of Dragon Ball Z, like that's like 1 of 5 times, where you see Goku trying to honor Gohan's decision to not be a fighter.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Because there's so much peril going on all the time. Goku, in a lot of situations, has forced Gohan to fight, being like, the fucking planet needs you. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry that this is our burden, but it's yours too. There's nothing we can do about it. But this is one of the times where it was early enough, and he was, you know, I guess you could say he was foolish enough to think that his son wouldn't have to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And there's like a couple of other times where he did that, where he was like, I'm going to honor the fact that like Chi-Chi doesn't want you to be a fighter and I want you to just be a kid. You should just be a kid. And it's a nice moment, you know? I like it. I think that if people don't understand the weight of the whole series, that moment isn't as like serious to them. But when you've watched all of it and you'll derive so much more meaning from it because you're like, fuck, that was like before he really knew how horrible the world was going to be.
Yeah. And like just seeing like Chi-Chi with her son too. Mm-hmm. And like how she's trying to protect him. And
trying to like the only thing I can get you for your birthday is books, like nearly to like an indoctrination, maybe a little bit of an Asian stereotype level of wanting him to study. But it's still cute because, like, you know, King Yem is bringing it in the form of gifts. And, you know, this kid's living, like, a simple life where his dad goes fishing and, you know, he lives out in the woods and he just fucking plays with animals and fucking studies all the time.
That sounds like a great life.
Yeah.
And then he saves the world casually.
Yep. Unknowingly.
You
know, it's a tough moment to think about because the rest of the movie is just more of like a fun kind of romp, but that end note is like, oh shit, like that shit was like foreshadowing as fuck that was not how things were gonna be. Like that Gohan was gonna be saving the day a lot and is really the hero of the story a lot of the time.
Wow.
A lot of people don't give him credit, but Dragon Ball Z is so much more of a Gohan hero story, and Dragon Ball is so much of a Goku one. You know?
I mean, I just feel like Gohan is such a big character because I feel like Goku is like almost like more simple. Yeah. You know?
Like his depth comes from like being in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
Versus like how Gohan
like inner struggles and shit.
Yeah, and also he's our entrance level character because if you watched the anime when you were a kid, you literally grew up with Gohan a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like that gradual change over time with like the seasons disseminating out year after year. You like are starting to get like, oh shit. Yeah, and the time jumps, like you're starting to think of yourself as like the Gohan character in some ways. And that's why a lot of people's favorite characters are Trunks and Gohan because they're like, you know, kids.
Yeah, that grew up together and we're both.
And you don't even know both Trunks arcs, do you?
No.
Do you know about the other Trunks at all?
Well, I do know a little bit about it, yeah. We watched some of that recently.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But anyway, my point is like, this movie's really good because it's a Gohan story that's like entirely innocent. Mm-hmm. And as a result, it was just like a really fun romp. Like, I think this is one of the better ones that people don't revisit ever because it's so much older.
That's crazy. It's insane that there's shit from this back in 89 and they're still making more.
I bet you anything, this is in no one's top 5.
Wow. It was really good.
But the other Dragon Ball Z movies are also
like,
really,
I'm
really
going to
good.
rate this high.
Really? Okay,
yeah.
Good. Go ahead and give your rating then.
Okay, I'm going to say this movie was an 8.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
it was
awesome.
Really fucking
Dude,
fun.
you're going to like the other animated so much then.
I really liked it.
Dude.
And I thought like I wouldn't really give a fuck about this movie, to be honest with you.
But it was good.
Yeah.
It was fun too.
Yeah, it was.
That's the most important thing is it's like, yeah, there was a serious struggle, but
like,
it was actually fun.
I had really low expectations and it obviously exceeded all my really low expectations, but like it was like genuinely fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. And like the high scene is really funny too.
Yeah, definitely. And I like how it's just a little throwaway side story. Pretty much anybody can watch it. I just burped again.
That was awesome the way you did it too.
Anyways.
That was insane. Yeah, no, this is a good one to revisit. I think that some of the Dragon Ball Z movies are like you watch it once and you're like, oh my God, I'll never watch. Like that was good, but there's no way I can get through that again. Just because like so much happens and like, you know, you get emotionally distraught sometimes with these damn movies. But this is one that's so low stakes, you know? Like at no point did I really think Goku was going to fucking fall into the dead zone. You know what I mean? Because they can't write him out of that.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, you know, this is such a low stakes one.
Oh, that is a good point that the movies do feel kind of low stakes, but it's fun.
But some of them don't. Some of them the shit gets so real that your disbelief is suspended effectively.
Oh, really?
Like I've definitely watched a Dragon Ball Z movie and been like, oh my God, this motherfucker's about to kill Goku.
I'm excited to journey.
And they will kill people. So
wow.
So that's why I say this one's low stakes. But they'll kill people in those side movies. They will because it's non-canon. They'll kill motherfuckers. They will do it. You fucking wait. I promise. They'll kill people.
That's insane.
Dragon Ball Z, I also consider to be a masterpiece because they never hold back. They will kill whoever they want. And some people just won't come back. They'll just be like, you've been wished back too much with the Dragon Balls. You just have to be dead now. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like they kill Goku a lot.
I think Goku's died. Let me really think about it. In regular Z, he's died twice. Twice is a lot.
Yeah.
Twice is a lot. Yeah, I mean, he can't be wished back with the Dragon Balls in the thing we're watching right now. That's why he's only there for a day. He's still dead. Anyway, sorry. All right, so we rated
mind
it.
is
For
blown.
me, this one's a great rewatch. So I rate everything a 10 out of 10 for Dragon Ball Z, but in reality, I rank it in the lower part of the movies. I think it's good.
Wow, they're better than this usually?
Fuck yeah.
I'm excited.
They really are. I think the only one that's worse than this one for me is World's Strongest. I just think that one's a little goofy. But other than that, the movies are fucking bomb. The movies are so good. They slap every time. Especially Bio Brawly's pretty bad. But the Brawly stuff is really, really good. The 1 and 2 is actually excellent movies. Anyway, yeah, so our ratings guys, if you liked this, you can check out our usual movie podcast on this channel or youtube.com/crosscutcinema.
Yeah, also let us know if you'd like to hear us review the rest of them.
Yeah, I think that could be a fun side project
Yeah.
for us, especially since these movies are generally 45 minutes. They're easy to knock out. Her and I could even do double feature reviews.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to just be one of them. Yeah, so if you guys like them, tell us. Also, if you want to listen to me talk about Dragon Ball Z or just listen to us talk about TV shows, check out youtube.com/apilotpodcast or a pilot podcast on Spotify, wherever you may get your podcast at. It's available everywhere.
You have your own channel too.
I do. youtube.com/Logan Tyler. It's got stuff. That's about all I can say about it.
Thanks
All right.
for listening.
See you later, kids.